coffee?
Cup of coffee, fantastic idea. Did you have another question? A lovely saying from Mahayana Buddhism, which is that if one being is bound, then all beings are bound. Yeah? If one being is in prison, all beings are in prison. If you've got a situation of dominance and submission, whether male to female or white to black, or however you do that kind of dynamic, it means that everybody's in prison. As a yoga practitioner, I want a planet of mutually empowered people. Meditation and the sort of insight that can arise through that is that it's extremely liberating in terms of not gripping onto things. One of the yogic understandings is that as creatures that think we're separate and solid and real and defined, when we get caught into that, it's quite painful because we have to find safety. It's an earth element neuroses. People are trying to feel safe and secure by having a big house, or by having lots of money. Yeah? The earth element of solidity is where they feel safe. So they try and accumulate as much of that as possible, to feel as safe as possible. It's empire building. Then you've got what's called a water element neuroses, which is where you're trying to feel safe with feelings and emotions. So you want certain emotions in your life and not the other ones. And you want certain feelings, like and sex is a good one there. To cultivate, have as much sex as possible. I feel alive when I'm doing that. I feel safe in that aliveness. And power is another one. And in the Western world, power is misunderstood, I believe. What we mean by power in the Western world is largely dominance. Power is simply the ability to do things, it's the capacity to act. So I think that power imbalance is prevalent in the Western world, and it comes out as dominance and submission. And our cultures are riddled with that. We have a history of a big bad dominant god who kicks ass, and everybody submits to that big bad god. That whole dominant submissive dynamic comes through the culture. So we're as empowered or mutually empowered beings, we're babies really, completely reliant on systems of dominance and submission. We still have lords, houses of lords, and kings and queens, and the whole feudal structure of dominance we still live in. It's part of the process is to find the liberation in all of that, find the freedom in all of that, so we're no longer bound by any of that or caught up in that in the same way. We still have to live in it because that's how it is. But you're not emotionally, psycho-emotionally embedded in it in the same way. You're finding your way to the kind of empowerment that works for you and seeking to create that in the world. And if we find that for ourselves, we have to want it for other people. We have to want it for everybody ultimately. Because why would you want to live on a planet that isn't full of mutually empowered people? That wouldn't be much fun, would it? And actually, to have a joyous, fun, rich life, you want to have everybody feeling good, feeling strong, feeling powerful. And I feel that's one of the works of yoga is to successfully at some point in time over the next 2,000 years achieve that.